Welcome back. I am so happy you're here. We have a wonderful show for you, so let's just jump into it. Irrelevant news. Sha'Carri Richardson returned to the racetrack after getting suspended for smoking weed. However, things didn't go so well for her. She ended up coming in last place. However, the post-race interview was amazing.
This is one race. I'm not done. You know what I'm capable of. Count me out if you want to. Talk all the you want, because I'm here to stay. I'm not done. I'm the 6th fastest woman in this game ever, and can't nobody ever take that from me.
I absolutely love her passion, folks, especially the fact that she's bragging about being 6th place. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Anyway, folks, Drake went full mask off in his feature on Trippie Redd's latest song and said this about Kanye.
All these fools I'm beefing that I barely know, 45, 44, burned out, let it go. Ye ain't changing shit for me. It's set in stone.
In that last line, Drake was referencing Kanye constantly pushing back the release date of his brand new album, which is very surprising, folks. I mean, who could have seen it coming that Drake would be on pins and needles waiting for Kanye's new album to drop? Anyway, Kanye responded on Instagram with this.
I live for this. I've been fucked with by nerd-ass jocks like you my whole life. You will never recover. I promise you.
Folks, Kanye not only added Pusha T to the group text before sending his response, but he also sent a picture of the Joker, so you know he means business. And speaking of business, a website that's about to go out of business, OnlyFans, recently sent an email to their creators with the updated guidelines of what is going to be permitted on the platform.
Do not upload, post, display, or publish content on OnlyFans that shows, includes, or refers to any individual under 18 years old or refers to individuals under 18 years old generally.
And they later go on to say,
shows, promotes, advertises, or refers to sexually explicit conduct.
And then they go into very explicit detail on what you can and can't do anymore on OnlyFans as far as sexual content go, and that's basically everything. Now, a lot of the conversation has been around what MasterCard and other bank services have been doing to pressure OnlyFans to have more oversight on the content that gets uploaded to the platform. However, it should also be noted that a group of 101 Congress people signed a letter requesting that the Department of Justice investigate the prevalence of sexual material, missing or abducted children, and potential solicitation involving content sold on the website. In fact, an investigation by the BBC actually found that OnlyFans was doing a pretty awful job preventing CP and other content like that from being uploaded to the platform.
Special Agent Austin Barrier from U.S. Homeland Security specializes in investigating child online. He estimates he finds between 20 to 30 child images a week, which he says have clearly originated on OnlyFans. He says every internet forum he has visited as part of his investigation in the past 6 months or so has included child images from OnlyFans. Most of them are videos that were live streamed on the site. In some of them, children are receiving direction, he says.
I told myself I wasn't going to make this joke, and I'm not going to make it. There. I had some restraint. I'm happy with myself.
Dozens of accounts that appear to have been set up by underage users are closed each day, according to Christoph, who shared a record of some accounts closed over a period of a few weeks with the BBC. Almost all underage accounts are for subscribers rather than creators, including, he says, children as young as 10.
The world is a sick place, folks, and any motherfucker who took part in this underage bullshit going on OnlyFans should be sent directly to Guantanamo. If we close Guantanamo, reopen that shit and start it immediately with all these pieces of shit and let them fucking rot in there. So much for restraint, huh? But all jokes aside, folks, I knew there had to be some aspect of CP relating to this whole OnlyFans bullshit because their whole reaction was so knee-jerk. It wasn't transparent at all until like a couple days later where they put out these new guidelines, but up until now, it was like, why the hell are they just changing so quickly? Do they just want to kill the market? No, because they're not doing enough of a good job combing through their own platform to make sure that people aren't ruining little kids' lives. It's so fucked up when you think about it. Like a whole segment of creators are completely going to lose their main source of income because OnlyFans couldn't do their fucking job and make sure that some fucking P-words weren't live streaming 10-year-olds fucking doing things they shouldn't be doing. Anyway, folks, now for something a little lighter. Trisha Paytas' skincare line recently got a scathing review.
This is a line that they created for people with acne. Trisha Paytas' skin, from what I've seen, leading up to this video, I kind of delved into their history a little bit more. Oh my god. The fact that she's claiming that these products are what saved her skin when she very publicly sees a dermatologist and has a lot of face peels. It's all pretty much one big lie. She is just the face slapped on a brand.
No, really? Oh, jeez. I actually believe Trisha for a second, huh? When will I ever learn?
There's also a lady who has supposedly used these products and burnt her skin, and she's been posting everywhere trying to reach out to the brand. Here's the thing is, Like, that's a very, very bad reaction, and it makes me wonder again just how the formulation process was of these products.
Formulation? Whoever said products needed to be formulated? Just slap Trisha's face on it and start selling it. They'll go out like hotcakes, trust me.
I don't know, I feel like this is a public warning. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what the brand have to say about the products and about this girl's burnt skin. I'm just not going to be trying these whatsoever.
Wait a minute. Why won't James try it, folks? What's wrong with putting a product on your face that allegedly had someone get a chemical burn on their face? Jeez, I mean, isn't that the experience that everybody wants to witness? Also, I heard it's lawsuit season on YouTube, so you can maybe just sue if anything does go wrong. Nothing like spending the holidays in court.
I've just been asked a lot about this brand, and if I'm going to review it, the answer is I have bought it. I will not be using it. I will not be donating it. This will be going straight in the bin. I know it's a bit of a waste, but from what's going on at the moment, I just don't think it's fair or safe for me to give this away.
I don't think I've ever seen such a vicious review of a product. And by the way, folks, should be noted that James actually paid for that entire batch of product, so it's pretty much like setting $200-something on fire. Anyway, folks, Keemstar recently admitted that he's a snitch.
We gotta talk about this snitch shit, all right?
All right.
I've always done whatever was best for the fucking community.
I know.
That's right, folks. Keemstar does what's best for the community as long as what's best for the community is what's best for Keemstar. That's why Keemstar will admittedly only report the videos that Ethan Klein does making fun of Keemstar. Any other video doesn't matter. As long as they're making fun of Keemstar, they're getting reported because it's bad for the community.
This guy is literally clearly bullying and harassment and like fucking breaking the YouTube's terms of service.
I don't care.
And he's going after people. And so if somebody responds with the same energy, they get taken down and Ethan doesn't.
You know, it's great that Keemstar brings that point up because there are plenty of people who make videos about Ethan Klein literally every single day. And folks, it's a massacre because literally all those videos are still up. Yeah, they don't get taken down for some reason. Only Keemstar. Oh, poor little Keemstar. Folks, let's pity him.
And I sat back and let this happen for a year and a fucking
That's
half.
true. I said that before. You still snitched. I just don't care that you did. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
I snitched publicly, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe this, folks. Keemstar admitted to snitching publicly in a video where he literally admitted to snitching privately.
Susan, Team YouTube, everybody at YouTube, why is it Keemstar versus H3H3 and YouTube staff? Explain that to me. Why is there blatant favoritism? I have the emails. I have all the proof to back it up. I have sent emails when he broke TOS saying, hey, look, he's doing the same thing that you threatened to kick me out of the partnership program.
Looks like Keemstar's mastering the art of snitching publicly and privately because according to this video where he's literally snitching to the YouTube CEO, he's sent emails on emails. So plural. Wonder how many times he's been snitching. Now, folks, it doesn't make sense to call Keemstar a gnome anymore because he's very clearly a rat. So, I mean, the whole meme is dead. I mean, I feel really bad for people who have been calling him Gnome Star. You have to start calling him Rat Star from now on. Or even Bitch Star, because he loves to bitch.
Imagine if I responded by saying some female person in his immediate family had a loose pussy, okay? If I said that, my channel would be gone.
This fucking asshole is saying that right now. He literally just said the thing he said he can't say, so how come he can't fucking say it? Does he really think people are this fucking stupid?
How am I put in a situation where I literally cannot defend myself, where I can't come back with the same energy? How is that remotely possible?
The level of cognitive dissonance that Keemstar must have if he actually believes any of the bullshit that he's saying right now must be tremendous. Like, it really makes absolutely no sense because this motherfucker is defending himself right now on somebody else's channel. He defends himself all fucking day on Twitter. In fact, when he got Trisha to go on his podcast, he was fucking celebrating all fucking day. He was tweeting about how it was a W that Ethan's mom wasn't gonna go to Trisha's wedding. I mean, how the fuck is that not defending or not memeing on someone that he can't meme because it's bullying and harassment? Then he made a fucking podcast where he literally admitted on No Jumper that all he did was talk shit on Ethan.
We talked about so many topics and like just bang all over the place, and we ended up bashing Ethan a lot.
This guy lies so fucking much, you can't even keep track of his fucking lies.
And we gotta understand, all right? Favoritism still took place even though they took action.
Oh, I agree with that completely.
My video that I uploaded on Ethan Klein that got struck in by YouTube was taken down in 2 hours. His video was up for fucking 4 days.
The level of mental gymnastics that Keemstar is applying to this whole situation would put Simone Biles to shame, because if he actually thinks that any rational person believes that Ethan got favoritism after he got a video age restricted and another one striked because of Keemstar flagging those videos one time directly to YouTube CEO, if he actually thinks that qualifies as favoritism, I would hate to see what doesn't qualify as favoritism.
War. Who wins? Who wins the war?
You're
the
winning.
last one fucking standing, and it's gonna be me.
Nobody's at war, you fucking asshole. We're all talking about the most meaningless, stupid shit in the fucking world. It's entertainment news. This fucking shit isn't gonna change anybody's life. You're not a fucking heel. If you want to be a fucking heel so bad, go and fucking wrestle. We don't need this bullshit here. We're doing a job that's a hobby to most people. This is supposed to be fun. You just suck the fun out of it, you dumb fuck.
Are you gonna use this tactic when Ethan's gone on somebody?
Absolutely not.
Did you hear how long it took Keemstar to answer that he'd never report another creator's video? Yeah, I believe that he'd never do that because I'm stupid. I would actually easily bet that not only would Keemstar use this against another creator he dislikes if he were able to get Ethan's channel banned, but Keemstar has already used it against other creators. As I've said in another video, folks, if Keemstar is willing to do this publicly, what the hell do you think he's doing behind the scenes with other people he doesn't like? Maybe sending emails to mommy YouTube? Who knows?
Let's pretend that fucking that's true and YouTube didn't tell him to calm down.
Yeah.
They came to me and said they talked to both of us and that we both need to calm down. So
Okay.
again, it's Keemstar versus Ethan Klein and YouTube, and that is not fair.
The gall this guy has, folks, to say that it's Ethan Klein and YouTube versus Keemstar like he's some type of underdog, when in fact we actually have tangible physical evidence in the form of a video where he tagged the YouTube CEO and Team YouTube, and then we have the effect of that, which was Ethan Klein getting a fucking strike on his channel. How the fuck does he expect anybody to believe this bullshit lie when we literally have the evidence? It's up on the internet, it's everywhere for everybody to see, that this motherfucker is the only person to ever do this in the history of YouTube, but he's trying to flip the script. He's got to somehow flip the narrative so that he's not the bad guy, because even though he likes to say he loves to play the bad guy, folks, his ego is much bigger than that. He's got to be the savior in his own narrative.
Who wants to live in that world where YouTube's protecting one creator and fucking trying to shut everyone else down? No one wants to live in that world.
Look in the mirror, you dumb shit, because guess what, folks? We already live in that world, except it's Keemstar doing all the things he's accusing Ethan of doing.
You're referencing emails that the public doesn't have access to, and that's the issue. That's why people are pushing back so hard against that.
Are they
Dude, do
pushing
you
back
think
hard?
YouTube would like me lying about fucking emails saying me to stop?
Absolutely not.
I literally tagged the CEO of YouTube and I tagged Team YouTube and said, you sent me emails saying I couldn't send horse pictures. Like, you really think I'm just gonna publicly lie and tag the CEO of YouTube and Team YouTube saying that I have the emails?
I mean, this guy's lied about literally everything else. Why wouldn't he lie about this? And by the way, if he can't share the evidence for what he's alleging, then why the fuck talk about it at all? And that's the thing with Keemstar, folks. He loves to start these false narratives and these baseless talking points, and when he gets pressed for evidence, he either changes the conversation really quick, or he just says he can't show any evidence because of XYZ, and then he magically weasels his way out of the situation.
I wasn't at war with Ethan Klein. I was at war with Ethan Klein and his buddies at YouTube.com.
It's so fucking funny that this guy keeps hammering this narrative that it's Ethan Klein and the buddies at YouTube, when very clearly the only person who's buddy with YouTube and trying to take down other YouTubers is this guy.
I have sent emails when he broke TOS saying, hey, look, he's doing the same thing that you threatened to kick me out of the partnership program.
If only Keemstar had more buddies at YouTube, he'd be able to give more channel strikes.
I just want everyone that's critical me of snitching or whatever, or complaining that there's favoritism, I want everyone to know that, look, this has resulted in so many negative stories that have come out about Ethan Klein that I don't even cover on Dramaalert because I'm afraid that it will be perceived as bullying and harassment.
Exactly, folks. This fucking guy is so terrified of Ethan Klein that he'll go on other people's channels to talk about Ethan Klein all fucking day. He'll spend all day sitting on Twitter talking about Ethan Klein and Twitter videos and tweets and talking about getting W's when Ethan's mom says she's not going to go to the fucking wedding. And then, folks, he fucking makes an entire podcast episode with Ethan's future sister-in-law where he admittedly shits on Ethan the entire fucking episode. I know I'm repeating myself as a broken record, but that's the exact same shit this motherfucker is doing. And he thinks that just because he keeps hammering the same point over and over again, that it'll make it the truth. But guess what, folks? He can lie as much as he fucking wants, but the truth is fucking out there.
Obviously, me and Ethan have beef. And so that was the one common thing that kind of connected all of us is, you know, us criticizing Ethan.
Less than fucking 4 days ago, this motherfucker was saying that he spent 30 minutes criticizing Ethan with his future sister-in-law and FaZe Banks. And what the fuck has changed that now all of a sudden YouTube is coming after Keemstar? He can no longer talk about Ethan after he literally gave the guy a community guideline strike and got one of his videos age restricted.
I have been put in a position from emails from YouTube to say, hey, stop bullying him, that I myself am giving Ethan Klein special privilege because I'm afraid that if I upload a legitimate story where I'm exposing him as a hypocrite or exposing some bad thing that he's done on his platform, that it will be perceived as bullying and harassment. Who wants to live in this fucking unfair world?
Poor little Keemstar, folks. He gets to talk shit about Ethan Klein all fucking day in multiple platforms, not only his own, but other people's like No Jumper and a whole bunch of other channels that he's been on the past week talking shit about Ethan. However, folks, he wishes he could talk more shit about Ethan because, you know, YouTube's got his hands tied behind his back. Unfortunately, there's a limit to his own wit and how far he's willing to go with some shit. Because you know what? Can't take the fucking heat. Get out of the fucking kitchen. Stop whining to mommy, piece of shit.
I'm terrified to criticize him because I feel like YouTube will take action against me. I'm terrified.
All right,
and I've been terrified for a year and a half.
The guy is literally on an entire fucking podcast criticizing Ethan Klein the entire fucking 20 minutes that he's there. He literally just went on No Jumper, spent an hour and 20 fucking minutes criticizing Ethan Klein the entire fucking podcast. He made a nearly 40-minute episode with Trisha Paytas criticizing Ethan Klein the whole fucking time. He spent his entire week on Twitter. He sent people videos criticizing Ethan. If somebody were to create a fact-checking website where they fact-check every single one of Keemstar's lies, folks, that person would be a multi-millionaire and they have enough work for the rest of their fucking lives, because I'm telling you that the only thing that Keemstar's good at is fabricating lies. That is literally what he does 24 fucking 7.
Can we also just take some like acknowledgement of the stuff that he said about me and the stuff that he was doing about me? I mean, this guy on YouTube had a Keemstar puppet and he was fucking it.
It's funny.
Like, come on YouTube.
Oh, come on, that bothered you. Come on, that bothered you. I mean,
do you think? No, of course it didn't.
Of course it didn't bother Keemstar, folks. That's why he brings it up every fucking time he complains about Ethan. He brought it up in his video to Susan. He's bringing it up now in this podcast. He brought it up on No Jumper, pretty sure. Folks, this guy is literally over this joke. It didn't hurt him. That's why he talks about it literally all the fucking time, nonstop.
You can't get away with that. You do that, you're getting a strike.
Yeah.
Nick does that, he's getting a strike. If anybody on this platform does it, they get a strike. And guess what? YouTube reviewed that video, and that was fucking age restricted because it's always been us versus Ethan Klein and YouTube.com.
Folks, I feel bad for Keemstar right now. He's doing so many backflips to try to convince people that he's not a narc, but hopefully he lands one of these because, whoo, getting sad.
I did the Cronin.
Snitching, am I really snitching on Ethan Klein or am I snitching on YouTube? This is YouTube's fault for protecting this fucking guy.
And YouTube's protection has been pristine. That's why after Keemstar admittedly reported at least 2 of Ethan's videos. One got age restricted, and the other one got a strike. Oh, with that type of protection, folks, you really don't need anything else. And by the way, shout out to Tommy for trying to keep a straight face as Keemstar saying all of this. And, you know, I know it's hard. It's not easy being a henchman, but, you know, you could tell he tried his best. But at one point, it seemed like he literally just wanted to leave the conversation.
Well, it does. It's all right. You're saying they're protect. I don't know. Oh, boy.
Last question.
He's like trying to agree with Keemstar, but he can't even do it because it's such a huge leap in logic to say that somebody who literally less than a fucking month ago, like 2 weeks ago, got a fucking strike because of Keemstar. Like, how can anybody actually believe that Ethan is protected?
I wanted someone from YouTube to come out to me and say, listen, all right, you're allowed to respond to him with the same energy he's putting back. That's what I wanted, all right?
Yeah,
all I want to do is make fun of this guy, but I can't. All I want to do is criticize this guy, but I can't.
Bullshit, okay, folks? Keemstar had reported another video of Ethan's that got age restricted. He knew that the consequences would be either that or greater, okay? He knew what he was going for. He wasn't going for leveling the playing field because he wasn't even trying to level the playing field. He's just trying to get his fucking channel deleted. He even said it. This is fucking war to Keemstar.
Dude, it's time to stand up and fight to the fucking death, and there's no rules in war.
Don't you love watching a snitch talking about war?
When I say fight to the death, that's a metaphor, obviously. Nobody's actually fighting to the death on
Minecraft,
YouTube,
yes.
in case
But
you hear this.
I don't know.
Oh, thank you for clarifying, Keemstar. Yeah, had no fucking idea that it was a metaphor. Here, I thought that these YouTube streets were supposed to take up arms and go and fight each other to the death. Oh, mark my words, folks. Keemstar is not going to fucking stop. His goal is to fucking get everybody that he dislikes off the platform. He's starting off with Ethan. He's gonna move on to someone else if Ethan gets banned. The guy's too far up his own ass to not do that. Anyway, folks, let's see if the listeners of this podcast actually bought into the bullshit that Keemstar was selling.
It's like Ethan said, Keem could say whatever he wants to, but he can't take the heat.
Oh no, folks, that person is grossly misinformed. They don't understand that Keemstar cannot say whatever the hell he wants unless it's to mommy YouTube.
It doesn't add up that Keem says YouTube has him muzzled and he is afraid to go after Ethan, but he's literally been talking about Ethan and messing with him this entire time.
That is an optical illusion. Keemstar cannot do that, folks. In fact, he is currently muzzled under his desk in his home office trying to fight his way to his microphone so he can yell about Ethan.
Keem Christar is afraid to talk about Ethan, but he goes on every podcast talking about him. Talking about Ethan on Twitter, talking about Ethan on other people's channels.
How dare these folks in the comments actually see through the bullshit and think for themselves. Unbelievable, folks. Think of Keemstar.
Don't you always speak about fact? There is no evidence that Ethan ever complained to YouTube directly about Keem or that he created the rules for bullying and harassment. However, there is proof that Keem snitched to YouTube and exposed himself for doing it for the past year.
Factually incorrect. That is not what we're going with, okay? That is not the narrative that Keemstar has been passing down to everybody that he wants to propagate, okay? Better get with the program or else you're gonna have to drink the Kool-Aid.
If you don't care that Keem snitched because you don't like Ethan, then why do you care about what Ethan does? Everyone laughing saying Ethan is a T channel now when Keem is a legit T channel and Keem tries to cancel people just as hard, LOL. And you all like him. Like, you know you all look just as ridiculous in this situation.
Yo, I love the fact that people are catching on that Keemstar is a T channel, folks. He's been railing about fucking T channels for the longest fucking time. He's a T channel. I'm a fucking T channel, drama channel, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It doesn't matter. It's a entertainment news channel, okay? Yeah, Keemstar's a fucking T channel. His name now is fucking T-Rat Star, because he's a T channel and he's a fucking rat. Now, palate cleanser.